tranquility of the spectacular northern mountains of Pakistan was tormented on 8th October 2005 with an earthquake recording 7.6 on Richter scale. Tremors took their toll with life and limbs in thousands. The world mourned those who perished, but those who survived had their accounts filled with the loss of dear ones, material and abodes. There were thousands of sufferers whose miseries were compounded with the loss of limbs. And Kiran was one of them. The word Kiran literally means ray of light. Let me take you to 15-year-old Kiran, whose life lost its shine at a spur of a moment.
I was at school when the earthquake hit. I was trapped under the roof. I got out of the wreckage myself. Meanwhile, my father came and took me home.
I had only reached Balakot bus stand just after 10 minutes or so. The tremors shook everything. In a few minutes, everything around us was turned into rubble. We heard screams and wailing everywhere. I was in my vehicle, so I quickly reached the school where I found my daughter with a broken arm.
They gave me injections in the evening, but next morning at 9 o'clock, my arm was amputated. I cannot take care of my siblings, as my mother also died in the earthquake, and I cannot do everything, so my father married again. But my new mom is not very strict with my siblings, so most of the time it's my responsibility to take care of them.
Kiran remained quite disturbed after the disaster, as she lost her mother and her arm as well. I shifted them to their relatives in Rawalpindi after the earthquake, but she insisted on coming back to Balakot and wanted me to get married so that the children could be looked after properly.
My only brother is 6, and my youngest sister, who was under the debris with my mother at the time of the earthquake, is now 3 years old. I love reading storybooks and making patterns with henna on my palms. I want to be a teacher in the future.
Kiran is a very loving elder sister. She never gets angry and she always helps us in studies and other things.
Kiran used to remain disconnected with others earlier when she joined this school. But teachers and fellow students were very cooperative and understanding with her so. Now she has become more confident and actively participates in school routine activities, and she is also doing well in her examination.
Kiran is my best friend. We always share our sorrows and joys. I have also lost my brother in the earthquake. I like to visit Kiran's house, and she also calls on me. She is a very loving girl who always cares for others.
When I first met her in January 2007, she looked sad, but her health was good. As the time passed by and I met her in April and May, I found that though outwardly she was not very sad, but her health was also not very good, and as if some deep sorrow has settled in her. I never had much of difficulty in communicating with Kiran. She has always been responsive. But the difference which I feel this time after the January is that through her expressions, her gestures and body language, she conveys a kind of dejection, doubt and despair that she often tries to hide by putting either her hand like this on her forehead, or bowing her head too low to avoid eye contact, or put her finger like this across her lip. Ironically, these are all the expressions of the same she is trying to hide. So this is the difference I have felt between the Kiran I first met and the one I meet now.
Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund, being the apex civil society organization, remained one of the leading agencies in relief and rehabilitation phases. Working on reconstruction of houses and infrastructure, it has started rehabilitation of persons with disabilities with the financial and technical assistance of the World Bank. Scores of injured faced amputation. Many earthquake-affected children suffered from mental disorders and physical disabilities. Out of every 5 injured children, there were one blown-up gangrene case without any other option except amputation. Besides these newly disabled, those who were already disabled lost their support systems in the disaster, making them partially dependent upon external help. But their resilience and will to make life good and worth living is exemplary. We have just peeped into a world of resilience, resignation, hope and despair called Kiran. Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund, with the financial and technical assistance of the World Bank, has embarked upon the Earthquake Disability Project to improve the quality of life of thousands. Kiran is one of them. We do not know whether we will succeed or not. If we do, the life of Kiran will change for better. Otherwise, her miseries will compound. She would lose whatever is left. We'll revert to you after a year to share whatever happens. Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund wishes to express its indebtedness to ERA and the World Bank for the support they are extending. Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund is an ERA partner and works within the policy framework given by ERA.